perfect parlaying, and then I go see the Ryan Coogler movie last night, and I never Sinners.
Oh yeah, I seen Sinners last night.
Ryan Coogler, that director?
I seen my shit at 6:30.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see it at 6:30.
Look,
it was cracking in there.
It was cracking. I seen a couple people I knew in there.
I was in the top.
I was in row Q. So second to last, I think.
Yeah, I was at the top.
Yeah.
Who's Ryan Coogler? That's the director?
Yeah, that's he did Fruitvale Station, he did Creed.
Word.
He did Black Panther.
That's the dude that he went to the bank and he asked for like $20,000 of his own dollars and then he tried to word. That's crazy too.
There's a lot of music.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy ass thing to experience. Like you was earlier, you were talking about profiling. He went into the bank, had a COVID mask on. It was COVID times. Handed him a note like, you know, this is my ID, this is my account. I want
number and all that.
Yeah, I want $20,000 of my own dollars. $20,000 of my own dollars. She like, hello, I think it's a bank robbery. Bitch.
I think it's a bank robbery?
Bitch. She called the police.
She called the police.
They put him in cuffs and everything.
What?
Yeah, I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
I hope he sued.
Well, how was the movie?
It was fine.
That shit was wrong.
It was fine.
It was crazy.
What is it about?
Some vampires.
Vampires?
So it's
way deeper than that.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm being
Fuck the people at home.
Fuck the people at home. But
is you gonna go see it?
Huh?
Is you gonna go see it?
I don't care about about shit getting spoiled.
Hey, I'm gonna go tonight. Honestly, I was. Yeah.
Do you care about spoilers a little bit?
No, fuck no.
Alright, so boom.
I'm gonna get. I was 420, bro. I'm gonna get fried and forget.
It's two niggas, both played by Michael B. Jordan.
Word.
And they just got back to Mississippi from Chicago. They done hit a lick or something. They come back, they buy a mill, and they turn it into a juke joint.
Word.
And they little cousin, he's like a preacher's son, but he played the guitar real good. He sang real good. He's gonna be their entertainment for the night. But
he was talented too.
Yeah, I was actually reading. That's his first role.
Did he really sing that? Or no?
Yeah, he really sung, and he learned to. He played that too. Because they say he was a background singer for the singer Her.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's his first role. They said he learned blues guitar for this joint. He spent like 3 months or 2 months learning. Yeah, bro. He went in. As this being somebody's first film, that's kind of crazy to me. Like we've been watching Michael B. Jordan since Hardball.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But this is the first time he played two roles. You said they're both being played by him, right?
Yeah, they play
like Eddie Murphy
twin
style.
brothers. Yeah.
Word.
Like Lindsay Lohan on Parent Trap.
Yeah. Is there a lot of scenes where it's like say I might
scene where they fighting each other.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Nigga, you said a vampire. So somebody's a vampire?
A couple of people turn. So look, I'm gonna spoil it. Fuck it. Look, they have the party, and you know it's going up. They have the night going perfect.
Yeah.
And then they got a cutscene. Some Indians chasing down this white dude, and he got boils all over his skin. He burnt up. He get down on his knees in front of some more poor whites, and he like, yo, these Indians, they trying to kill me, blah blah. You know, just let me in. They let him in. Boom, he turned. Now it's 3 vampires from 1. And
he was a vampire.
Yeah, and then they found their way to the juke joint, and you know
what's crazy is that when they got to the spot and they said that they were singers too, they started snapping. Like the song was like, it was some old shit, but like when they started singing, I was like, and they all pulled out guitars. I was like, how they all got guitars?
My girl had pointed out to me the same melody of what they were singing.
Yeah.
Is the same melody as this little light of mine.
Shit.
You know, so he kind of snapped like writing it in there like that because it got the like, what is that, contrast, juxtaposition, if I'm using the
so
word
right.
It
was blues music, like.
Yeah, it's a blues.
But that scene, there's like a scene in there where he's performing, and through that like 2-3 minute scene where the song is going on, it's all different generations of music of like. Ballet, DJs,
they had the Chinese representation in there too.
All different types of music.
Yeah.
During the song, they kept showing all the generations of it.
Is this like a Get Out, Us type of like where there's a lot of like.
It's made by the same person.
There's a lot of like there's a lot of meaning and shit behind it, like one of them type of films.
Yeah, so it's a black horror, you know, like because Jordan Peele, you know, he kind of pioneered that's who did the Get Out, and Us, and then he got a new joint coming with Marlon Wayans called Him. That's supposed to be like a black horror.
That shit look crazy.
That shit look crazy as fuck. I think it got something to do with CTE. You see in the trailer, he had buddies.
It's weird to see like one of the Wayans brothers in something so serious like this, you know. But like the acting and everything looked fire to be in the intro.
Killed the movie for us. I wanted to hear it though.
What you mean killed?
No, not killed it, but you know what I mean.
Oh no! We ain't spoil it.
There's so much shit that happened.
I honestly feel like you ain't give us much. I feel like you like.
I don't want to. I'm a huge anime watch. I won't say I'm a huge anime watcher, but I be watching that shit, and I'm a huge One Piece fan in particular.
Same.
And when niggas spoil One Piece for me, I be sick. Like I go spoil it for myself. I be on Reddit reading the spoilers.
Yeah.
But you know, so I don't like spoiling shit for other people. So I be trying. I try to give a good explanation, but be vague.
Word. Yeah, I'll spoil the shit out of something for somebody, especially if you tell me go ahead. Because I say go ahead. I don't be caring. If you tell me go ahead, spoil, I'm telling you the end.
It was wild.
I'm starting with the end. Oh yeah, the nigga died. He got stabbed in that.
But then I get mad at him for telling me.
But I ask you though. So if you really don't want to, I'm not playing cute. If you don't want this shit spoiled, don't say spoiled.
I ain't doing shit tonight. I might go see that because he was telling me he was gonna see it, and then it's weird. Two motherfuckers. Trust me, judgment.
Yeah.
I was walking.
I might go see it again.
Go see the movie.
Yeah.
Did you see the credit scene?
Yeah, I seen at the end when when it showed the old head or whatever. That was I forget who. He's a real talented.
He a real blues man.
But like when they came back and they was all in a different generation.
But I guess it's a different credit scene at the very very end of the credit. But I left up out of there.
Isn't that when he came in with Shorty?
No, so that's the end of the boom, exactly, right?
Yeah,
so we watched that credit scene, and then I'm walking down.
Another one?
Yeah, y'all know Miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alexander. I see him and another dude that I know in the seats. I'm like, just dapping them up, and they were still sitting down. I'm like, yo, it's another scene. They're like, yeah, it's another scene, but by then, I'm in there with my girl. We going back to the crib and all that shit. So
he was already. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, like I find it on YouTube, or I might really go back.
Your girl didn't want to stay. She wanted to get out of there.
Man, she had knee surgery on both knees and shit. Sit for 2 hours. It's time to go.
Word.
2 knee surgeries on both.
That's wild. Yeah, she must have been a crazy athlete or something.
Wait, you had two surgeries, or she did?
She did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got a bad knee too. When I be like long drives or movies, sometimes I be having to do all this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't never really had no injury. I messed up my wrist last year. Somebody hit me and shit, and I guess I hyperextended that joint or whatever. So I did the little physical therapy or whatever.
Yeah. So you be like, so you from Erie then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah, bro. Let's get into my man Kenny Bass. You know what I'm saying? Because Jesus for. This
where
you
from?
Well, man, I'm originally from up top. But I just came out here.
You said down south?
No, from up top. In fact,
you said from where?
Up top, like up top. Like it's like almost like it's like I say it's outside of Philly and shit or whatever, but like it's a little like
like the eastern area.
Like you said what?
Like eastern area.
I guess you would say that. More like it's like
like Reddit.
It's about an hour from Penn State.
All right. Yeah. So you smack dab.
Yeah.
Little, but you down the road from Amish type shit.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Pennsylvania is diverse as fuck, bro.
It's a lot of shit.
Bro, I be telling them, like, I used to live down North Carolina. Pennsylvania is magical, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah, niggas can't tell me shit about PA, bro. Like, motherfucking the United States was, as far as I'm concerned, United States was birthed in Pennsylvania, bro. Motherfucking Philadelphia used to be the capital. Nigga, they fought the Civil War here. They fought the goddamn Revolutionary War here. War 1812. All that shit in Pennsylvania for real.
In Erie alone. Like, a lot of little special shit happened here. Like,
Yeah.
You into history? Like you a history buff?
Yeah, that's my shit. That's my shit for real.
I like history, but I never liked American history only because they cram that shit down.
Everything they taught us in school that I'm older now. It was cat, bro.
So that's not even the reason I don't like it. That's not the reason I don't like it. The reason I don't like it is you gotta learn the same shit for all, elementary, middle school, high school.
Because it's propaganda. They only teaching you about the shit that they. I say it's a meme. It'd be it's a white. It got a picture of Ben Franklin with like some shades on. And then it got a history book, and then instead of the history book, the title of it just say "White Nigga Highlight Reel." But no, that's really what it is. I feel you, bro.
Yeah, like because I when I was in college, I took this like this history of European wars or some shit like that, where it was like Roman history and like they was talking about the Spartans and they was talking about like little intricacies and shit. That shit was interesting. So it got me thinking like, what if it was like East Asian history and African. I mean, it's out there, but like imagine, you going through school and they teaching you about Canadian history and you learning about fucking South American history, and it's like that should make it more fascinating versus you keep teaching me the same shit different ways every couple of years. Man, that shit corny.
When I was in college, I was learning a lot about history too, but like I had decided that I was going to drop out because.
Where'd you go to school?
East Carolina, ECU.
Okay.
So down in Greenville, shout out Greenville, North Carolina. Shout out the whole NC.
I love it. I love North Carolina.
Yeah, bro, I love North Carolina. But I had decided I was going to drop out because I didn't want to be there in the first place. And then when I got there, it was easy for me. Like I kind of got a big head about it because I had told my parents like I'm not trying to go to school. I want to rap, I want to make music, I want to make clothes and shit. And they was like, my dad, he was like, yo, if you do that, you going, I don't know where you're going to do it from.
Yeah.
So it was either college, or the streets, I guess. So I had went to college, but when I got there, I'm like not going to my classes, showing up for the tests and stuff like that. And I had a 2.5, so I'm like, I'm talking to my friends and they struggling bad. Like, and they're going to all the classes, they going to study sessions and shit. I'm like, I do not need college. So like, I just decided that I was going to leave. Mm-hmm. But the good thing about college is they libraries. Is they so vast and they got the oldest books. So I was just waking up in the morning, going to the library, like fronting like I'd be going to class just because motherfuckers judge you when they know that you're not going to classes and shit. So just so motherfuckers to see me out, I go to the library. But when I was in the library, I'd just be reading like all these old books and shit like that. And to speak to your history point, you said you was taking like a European history class.
Like a European war history.
So boom, if you type in European country, year AD, they'll tell you who the king was, who they beefed with, who, all their military, successes and blunders. But if you do that same shit for like an African nation or American history, it's suddenly nobody was recording it and they want to tell us, everything was oral record and stuff like that. But that doesn't make sense to me when Timbuktu got the oldest college in the world.
No,
so you can't tell me that all the African shit was oral history, but people were coming here to read books.
Yeah.
So like I be having like a major beef with history about that, and like especially being like a Black American, like I know that the history here, as far as American history goes, it doesn't start at Christopher Columbus getting here.
Yeah.
You feel me? But
they want us to believe that.
That's what I was taught. That's what I was taught. Christopher Columbus way.
Yeah, like it was shit going on over here before that.
All that bullshit they was giving me in high school and middle school. Middle school really to start. I guess it probably started at elementary, but in middle school I remember just history class and all this shit they would say, and I just like. And then later on in life, I found out that shit was all bullshit. Not all of it, but a lot of that shit. I was like, damn, why you ain't tell me this? And why did I learn this? If I'm a teacher, I'm teaching.
It's little shit as simple as like, so this country is very egotistical, and and also insecure might not be the right word, but like little man syndrome almost.
No, that's insecurity.
To where like if you look at the map and the globe, right? Like if we're looking at an anatomical globe or a map, you could fit. I think it's like Australia, South America, Asia, and like America in the size of Africa. Yeah. But if you look at a globe in any map here, the size of America, they always make it equal to the size of these other big countries. Yeah. So it's like the globes here are North American centric. So it's like with everything they try to make you feel like America is the leader, America's the best, America's the whatever. Mm-hmm. Whereas like when I was in college and shit, and I had like foreign exchange student friends, they said like out there, the emphasis isn't on we're the best. The emphasis is on learn about the world. That's why everywhere you go, especially with history, they be like dumb Americans, because Americans know about American history, like what they want you to know. You know, from the perspective of we're good, they're bad, and everywhere else in the world, they know about everywhere's history, and everywhere's probably way more accurate history and way more, you know, like even in America, like Cinco de Mayo, they try to make it seem like a drinking celebration day, when the reality of Cinco de Mayo is not like Mexico's independence day or anything like that. It's like they defended America. They defended America from the French attacking through the southern. I think, if I'm accurate, from like the southern border. But we try to make it seem like, well, that's Mexico's. Nah, but they never talk about that, and that was important.
Chicano holiday, like for Mexican Americans.
You ever think about like going back to whoever made the maps, you know, back then made the maps. The funny story is like who, as they were walking, because obviously they didn't have no other transportation, or unless it was on a horse. Did they just like go across the United States, like, hey, this is where the United States ends, this is where this place ends, and then like who decided, like, as they walked around, like, this feels like it's big enough for me, give it to the next person.
Like battles for that shit.
Yeah, like this is all the way around, like this is ours, and whatever you want outside of that, that could be y'all decide. But this right here is ours. Like who walked and decided, yeah, here we'll take this spot, we'll take.
I'm gonna be real, them niggas got it in blood.
Yeah, they fight all the way around.
It was somebody already there.
Yeah,
like Alaska. Who fought for Alaska? Like, you know, Alaska is ours. We're gonna make this all of Alaska, wherever it's cold.
Actually, it's a. I just seen a video. You know, motherfuckers be doing the video essays and shit. The dude that Muhammad Ali was named after his original name, Cassius Clay.
Yeah.
I guess Bo was like the original Cassius Clay. He was part of the Clay family, and I guess they was like slave owners and shit.
Yeah.
And I guess he went to like a seminar or something like that, and he walked up out of there feeling like he ain't believe in slavery no more. So he went to his parents and was like, yo, like, I can't accept nothing that y'all gonna give me. Like, I don't want my inheritance, none of that shit. And he just went off on his own, and he became like a hero in America. Like, he was a duelist. Like, you know, like a nigga, like, you know, with me and you got into it to the shit they frown upon today. But you know, they used to have dueling laws back in the day. So, you know, if we got into it,
mutual combat type of dueling laws.
Yeah, like you know, we'll shoot it out. And he was one of them. And
you're talking about shooting, not fight? Okay, word.
Yeah, he was like, I guess he never lost a duel type shit. Like, he was so cold with the dueling that they said,
put this bitch out like Red Dead. Bow.
Well, pretty much, but they said he had got into it with this one dude, and the dude challenged him to a duel on a holiday, thinking Bo wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
And when he got word that dude was gonna show up, still he killed himself. Like Bo was hard like that.
Like, they gonna get me out of here, and I was scared.
So I guess the Clay dude, he works his way into like politics and shit like that, and they make him the ambassador to Russia. Yeah. I think he pressured. I believe they said he pressured Lincoln into buying Alaska from Russia.
Yeah.
And he also pressured him into freeing the slaves as like you know, because they was beefing with the South. The South was getting money without the North. the North had child labor, the South had slave labor.
Right.
And the South is all free money. You know, they're not doing shit. They not educating their kids. They not working their fields. They not, you know, raising it. Everything is slave driven in the South. So all they was doing is sitting back and collecting bread. If they not cash rich, they land rich, so they could always borrow from the bank and get some more money. So when Lincoln was like, "Nah, y'all slaves is free," and all these dumb slave owners that been living life on easy mode for the last 100-something years, they like, "Oh damn, the bank owns my land. You know, the bank owned most of this land. We done took a loan out on it. We gave our slaves up as collateral. That's why they got stocks and bonds. So motherfucking, they're like, oh, we gotta go to war if we can't keep our slaves." So that's what the shit, like Lincoln, I'm sure he felt bad, you know, for black people getting their ass whooped 24/7, but he wanted to make sure that the nation ain't crumble. So the Clay dude was like, yo, if you free the slaves, you know, we gonna have to, you know, make a play. But boom, all of that shit.
Make a play.
Yeah, like, so Muhammad Ali was named after, or Muhammad Ali's dad, I guess, was named after Bo. But I went off on a whole tangent about the nigga Clay. I don't even remember how I was making that.
Now you trying to put it together. That was like, yeah. So anyway,
this is interesting.
No, bro, this shit was not interesting, and I'm like, yo, like.
But that's how you got into the music shit. College. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, yeah, boom. I was learning like all this American history shit in college, and you know, like you see today, like motherfuckers don't. They be saying like you gotta know where you've been to, you know, go forward and shit. Right. And people, it's like no pattern recognition or nothing like that. And that's, I feel like, is the direct result of what Dane was talking about, how they inflate the size of America, and they over here they tell you better than all these other countries and all that shit. Your head be getting big, and then you're like, yo, I don't need these. Like, we going through with China right now. Like, we feel like, or the president feels like he don't need China. Like, we don't need China. But most of our imports come from China. Most of their imports come from all over the world. We're not importing nothing to China. I think we're 12% of their economy. Yeah. Like,
it's wild. It's super wild,
There'll be a bunch of bullies.
But yeah, real shit.
Every society has like a crazy. You ever see? I think it's like Universe 69 or 59. It's not 69. It's like so. It's a project that scientists did over and over again, and it always produced the same results. Once you start to have too much like success, right? What happens is people get like over comfortable. They did it with rats. So they gave them a perfect environment where they was like male rats and female rats. There was plenty of food. There was like, you know, like just a lot of like abundance. Mm-hmm. And over time, you know, the pretty male rats, they stopped paying attention to like the female rats become super selective. So a lot of the male rats don't get attention, and the female rats only want the pretty rats, and then the pretty rats start to become over infatuated with their own appearance. And there's like a lot of the shit that you can even see happening now with social media, where there's a lot of this like, he gave me an egg for anything small. I got the egg, I got the this, I got the this. And it always happens that way. And then violence amongst the males increase, and then like every single time there's a hyper focus on like sex and sexuality and stuff, and right after that happens, that society tends to crumble. And societies that have crumbled in the past have similar patterns that have happened with this, I think it's like Universe 50 something, 51, 59, and like the same way that this experiment has happened multiple times with rats, it's happened with like different empires. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's a pattern of recognition. You can see it's happening.
This is like kind of like some of the signs that we are exhibiting now are signs of right before the fall. So it's like,
where's the information on the people that made it through these events.
No one has.
You know, no. I mean, people have like it's
No one has yet.
No, look. Charles Segal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that is? Well, you said you went to France. The nigga that they named the airport after.
Okay.
I think Nazi Germany had taken over France, and like the politicians was on some like, all right, we kind of gonna go with that, but I think he did, and you know he fought like he was like one of the last politicians in France.
You're talking about people that made it through what? This like society crumbling?
Yes,
or
these societal collapses, like you know like. Or are you talking about society as a whole, like human society?
No, I'm talking about societies as in like, I mean, we got American society right now. You know what I'm saying? We got, there was like the Roman Empire society, there was the Persian, you know?
So when those societies crumbled, niggas are making it out. Like, it's not like everybody died.
So
you got some real ones?
People survive.
Exactly. Where's the knowledge on what these people did? Because we see the signs that are, you know, like training us into that.
Escaped and went to the next civilization that's booming.
So does that mean that we gotta dip to Canada? Like
for sure.
I kind of one.
Yeah, for sure. It's literally like
go to Canada.
You gotta set yourself.
They go out to let us in.
You gotta set yourself up for success and be ready. You know what I'm saying, with your family to go ahead, get out the way, because it's like a ship, right? If you're on a big ass ship and you know. All ships got an expiration date, and you on a ship that's 100 years old, right? Like let's just say all ships have an expiration date, and you on a 100-year-old ship, and they tell you before you get on, yo, this is a 100-year-old ship, and you know most ships die out at 101, you know, after 101 years or whatever. Just a random example. Mm-hmm. Like you said, pattern recognition, right? If you're smart enough, you're gonna be like, okay, so we're getting on this ship and we're taking a cruise. This ship is kind of close to the edge. Where's the raft? You know what I'm saying? Let me tell me and my lady, if I brought my kids or my cousins on this cruise, let me tell them, hey, listen, if this joint is old, it's a chance it might go down. The rafts are over here. We gonna meet here if it's an emergency. You take care of you and yours. So it's kind of like it's the same shit you're saying, but you're trying to save everybody. You can't save everybody.
Well, see, I'm not trying to save everybody because that's just unrealistic for real. Like,
what's that?
Trying to save everybody. It's like when motherfuckers be like, oh. When a nigga looking for a job and
I'm trying to figure out how this shit turned into history.
I go back to it like this shit gonna be at the goal. I like talking, but I love listening to smart niggas talk too.
I don't know how the nigga got into the music shit. Let's get this shit fucking. Let's bring it.
We ain't asking about Major Coin. We ain't asking about my man Kenny Bates.
Talking about history.
What you been doing since
every time I talk to him? It's productive, uplifting conversation. But yeah, let's.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess what y'all want to know?
What you been doing since last time? What you been on
since
the
last time I was on.
Since the last time we had a podcast.
All right, boom. So I was on Dane's podcast.
I didn't know that.
In 2020, I think right before the pandemic.
I was on there, yeah.
Right before the pandemic. Yeah.
I think it was like 2 weeks before you actually. For real? Something like that. Yeah. No. You were on
the gumbo.
You were on the gumbo.
Yeah.
You were on Flash My Podcast. So
okay.
Our shit was like 2020. Our shit was like 20.
How was your guys' last podcast?
It was good. I had just released a tape with Bills Up.
Your brother wasn't on that, right?
No.
You were supposed to interview your brother separately.
Shout out here, man. He got some shit.
Bro, my first song I ever made was with him and bro.
That's what
I ever made.
That for real? That was your first song?
Yeah, my first song, bro.
Man, that shit was fire. That shit's still fire. We need to recreate the vibe. But
I think the last time you was on, because you was on twice. The last time you was on.
Was I on twice?
No, because you wasn't on twice. We interviewed you and then you dropped your tape. We hung out before you dropped your tape. You dropped your tape and we did a live listen to your tape. And we was like commenting on like what songs we liked, what songs was, because I wrote you and I was like this is the banger.
Damn, that's crazy. I ain't see the live listen. That's wild. I wouldn't.
I think we put it out.
Pulled up.
What's crazy thing is, shout out Bills Up too. Mm-hmm. We need to.
I was about to say,
we're in the studio.
I've been trying to chase this nigga down, man. You know the weather got nice. Nigga want to go golfing and shit. Golfing
sound fire,
bro. It is fun.
Dang out there already.
It is fun.
Real straight, right?
No, golfing is fun as fuck. But yeah, man. The spaceships, I fuck with that joint super hard. This nigga named Davis did the cover art. He done did art for like I think he did art for Greedo and Lucky and shit. But yeah, since then I moved to California. I moved back. Motherfucking.
Where'd you move out in Cali to?
I was trying to move to LA, bro. LA is like so many different. They gonna kill me for this when I say it's LA is like Pittsburgh on steroids.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Pittsburgh dudes out there.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh on steroids.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to be a star out there.
Well, see, I wasn't speaking to that. I was talking like LA is a bunch of different cities. Like, you know, Pittsburgh, they got Oakland.
We got a big bridge,
you know. And then LA is motherfucking Inglewood, and you got Compton, and you got Van Nuys, and you got all that shit. And I motherfuckers from LA, I don't know if they consider only LA like this is LA, but I was in Van Nuys, so I mean, whether that's LA or not, I was in the Van Nuys area, and then my apartment was trash out there, so I moved up to Santa Clarita for a little bit, and then I came back. Like, it's really wild. You gotta have a little bit of paper to struggle out there and shit. I moved out there with some.
You gotta have a little bit of paper to struggle. It's crazy,
bro. It's crazy, bro. So I moved out there with a couple dollars too, and I'm like, damn, like while I'm out there just struggling hard as fuck. I got me a job, and I'm like working 12 hours and taking my girl to her job and shit. And the LA area got so many different cities that, you know, I'm dropping her off to her job. I kind of gotta chill out in this little area for during her shift because we out there with one well type shit. So it just was struggle. And then when I got that, I'm like, yo, Erie is easy as fuck to live in.
Yeah,
easy,
bro.
Yes,
like once you get like over the
this is home. You can always go to LA for a week.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's some LA.
Bro,
I definitely enjoy myself.
If you make $500 a week in Erie,
you're good.
We good, yeah, actually good.
Apartment, like I had an apartment on the west side on West 10th Street, like 10th and Liberty. I started paying $530, and then or $560, and then they upped it to like $630. Then like 2 years later, and that's like so fucking cheap. And it was a nice ass apartment. Like you was
probably tripping when they upped it too. Like I can't believe they upped my shit.
I wasn't tripping at all, just because like this was when I was already a barber.
All right, so the shit was already in perspective.
Yeah. I'm already like I felt like I was cheating them. You know what I'm saying? Because I lived in Pittsburgh before I lived here for a little while.
All right, bet.
And I mean, even in Pittsburgh,
you like $530 for this shit.
Yeah, I'm like, this shit.
Pittsburgh cheated living too, though.
Bro, when I was in Pittsburgh at the time, prices might have went up. It was me, Noel, and my boy Chance from IUP. Mm-hmm. And we stayed in an apartment on Mount Washington. Right in front of like the station out the tunnel. And that shit, bro, big ass house. We had one garage, we had a basement, we had 3 rooms. It was like the basement, first floor, second floor. Everything was big as fuck. I think we might have had 2 bathrooms or 1 bathroom, whatever. $900. 3 of us was paying $300 each. Yeah. Bro, this is like living for free.
Bro,
this is like
pretty much.
It's like living for free.
That's how I've been feeling now. Like ever since I moved back, bro. That's how I've been feeling. Like the shit is.
And it still be niggas here struggling.
And shit and
and it still be people here struggling
out there with the music though.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing to think about.
Matter of fact, I wasn't able to cook up out there with the music because I was working so much. But I always been.
I feel like you were active. You just
you know exactly. Like
he's one person that would like pull up with the laptop and just a mic and we just would.
Like LA was good for me. Like
saying we would just be cooking up.
Yeah, like it's
saying like
shit just
bring
always
beats through and just listen to beats.
I'm always meeting somebody. I feel like it ain't nobody but God for real. Like I was talking to my mom when I pulled up down there on 10th and shit, and I was telling her like, yo, like life is just so good.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, what you got going on? I'm like, oh, I'm about to go on this podcast because you know.
Right.
Niggas love what your boy got to say. And she was like, don't be big-headed, you know that's nobody but God. And I'm like, yo, you're right. Because, like, when I'm out in L.A., right? I think it's my second day out there. And we go do the tourist thing, go walk down Melrose and shit. And I'm just in the shops, like, you know, and this dude, he kind of get to following me, but he black. So I'm like, I know he don't think I'm stealing. Like, that'll be weird.
Yeah.
You know, so I just get to talking to him. And, you know, we just get to chopping it up and shit. And I'm like, yo, I'm sitting here thinking, like, boom. This nigga done talked to me for like 10 solid minutes. I'm in LA. I'm in Atlanta Opportunity. So let me shoot my shot real quick. I pull out my phone like, yeah, you know, I make clothes, I make music. And I show him the clothing. And he like, yeah, bro, bring that in here. And I'm like, it dawned on me that I was talking to the owner of the store. I didn't even know. You know, exactly.
So people didn't know the name of your clothes line is?
Bro, Major Coin. Exactly. Major Coin, yeah. So he,
for a long time.
Yeah, he tells me to bring the clothes in there, and I'm like, yeah, I'll bring them down like 2 days. As soon as I left out of there, I called Aaron. I'm like, yo, send me them shit.
Send me everything.
Yeah, send them to my uncle crib out there, and then, you know, I brought them in there. We ended up selling, I think, 10 tees out of there, 1,000 a piece. And yeah,
1,000 a shirt?
I mean, yeah, no, not 1,000, 100 a shirt. So we made a band. No, but
$1,000 a shirt is crazy.
100 a shirt, but no, 100 a shirt is crazy because it's next to shit with brand recognition.
Yeah.
My shit don't got no brand recognition, like, you know. So
what do you say your brand is called?
Major Coin.
Then you had a red shit.
Yeah. I did Res 11. That was when I first dropped out of college. I was couch surfing and shit. I was up here couch surfing, and I was on my man's couch, and I had told all my friends when I knew I was dropping out, like, yo, all my productive homies, I'm like, I need to be with you every day, because if I'm with my unproductive friends, I'm gonna go to jail, you know. So like, I'm just like Jared said, I'm always pulling up with my computer and shit. So I'm alright at Photoshop, so I get the Photoshopping. And I show my mans, and he like, yeah, you know, like we could do something with that. So like, we kind of got to rolling with that. He had the manufacturing connect. I mean, we knew the same guy, but he had a better relationship with him. Yeah. So we ended up doing it like that. But yeah, you know, as far as the music goes, how I started making music, bro, I just always been making music. I think I put my first song out for other people to hear, like 7th grade, 8th grade, some shit like that.
How challenging was that? Putting it out?
The most challenging part was knowing niggas was gonna talk shit to me when I got to school.
Did they?
Like, yeah, a couple people, but the people that mattered, they was like, oh, that shit kind of hard. That shit kind of hard, you know? And my brother, he was going to prep at the time, so I think I recorded.
Your brother older than you?
Yeah.
I always thought you was older.
That's crazy. That's because the beard.
Yeah.
Because of the beard. No, he 2 years older than me. No, I mean, he got one. It's just not as thick as mine.
Yeah. Pause.
Yeah.
Definitely pause.
Can we talk about this last song you just made though?
What John? The Special Tear John or the Stop Playing? I just dropped a song on the 14th called Special Tear.
Before we go on to transition about the song, it's something that you said a second ago that I want to touch on. Earlier, you was like, when you was in LA, you was saying they was like, don't get big headed, and you was like, it's nothing but God, right?
Yeah, well, my mom told me not to be big headed because I was like, yeah, niggas like what I got to say.
Yeah,
and she was like, no, that's God working through you.
So earlier today, literally this morning, I was driving up to Wegmans to go grocery shopping at like 9 a.m. And like, I don't know why I was thinking like this, but it was something about, I was thinking about like just being humble. And like, I realized that you should be like you are given natural things by God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me back up a little bit further. I was watching this dude, it's Seth the Crow or some shit like that on Instagram, and he was talking about how the best people at a lot of different stuff will never be heard or seen because they overthink, they're slowing down, they're trying to perfect their craft, and the people that are the greatest at a lot of things are the second, third best if the other person was to like put their stuff out, right? Yeah. Because they're just less fear, less whatever, and they're putting it out. And his message in that little reel, I sent it to myself actually because I thought it was valuable. I want to watch that joint like all the time.
Send that to me.
I will.
Send it to
I will. I got y'all. But he was basically saying like art is dead because a lot of people are just repeating and rinsing and repeating and doing the same stuff. But the people that are really creative and like really like love the passion and stuff are people that are like also second guessing their stuff. And he was just pushing the idea of put it out, and that made me start just thinking about different stuff. And when I was driving, I was thinking about we always try to be humble and stuff like that.
Fuck being humble.
But like
honestly,
even more than that, forget the being humble. It's like I'm not even thinking it from a perspective of like I'm great, right? Mm-hmm. If I say I'm popping my chest out because God gave me this ability.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You gotta turn it.
I want to help.
Exactly, yeah.
And I was literally driving and just like talking about the different stuff that I got. Like, you know, mm-hmm. God gave me the ability to be charismatic. So I'm not going to apologize for that. And I'm not going to apologize for the ability to communicate well with people. I'm not going to apologize for the big energy that I got. I'm not going to apologize for it.
I needed to hear it because that's definitely something that I don't want to say I struggle with it because I don't want to put that on myself. I don't want to put a struggle on myself. But, you know, it's something that historically, you know, I'm a play the back type nigga. Like, I'm a cool dude for real. But at times I be like, it's not like niggas don't play with me. I'm going to be real. But I feel like niggas really want to play with me if I wasn't always so cool, you know? Like, you know, like sometimes it'll be
even if it's not play with you, it could be like doubt who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Take it kind of
I can't really think of an instance where anybody like really like try as far as adulthood goes where somebody like tried it with me, you know, or anything like that. But for some reason when I'm putting stuff out, like I felt like you was describing me when you was like, you know, like it'll be somebody that's really good at something, but they second guess and they trying to retool, and you know, like I feel like like that perfection shit. Like I don't know where the hell I got that from, but I don't like it.
Yeah, you gotta be. I've been just telling him, bro. Like we've been talking about this shit. Like I had him come to the studio, and that's why I said, bro, I got a studio right at the street. And I'm like, so we can always cook up. And I'm like, but it's what I don't want to be a perfectionist no more when it comes to like, you know, having to drop something completely. You know, I'm waiting because I feel like a lot of people just waiting on this shit. And these days, I see. And I'm like, bro, we should just cook up and just put it out instead of, you know, procrastinating and just sitting on shit.
I'm gonna send y'all two things. I'm gonna send y'all the joint that I watched today, and then I'm gonna send y'all something I watched like a couple days ago when and if I could find it. And it was a short YouTube type documentary about Basquiat and what made him such an amazing artist. And one of his things was that you have to create and put this shit out before your thought process can slow down your creativity.
Wait so long, you might not put it out at all.
A lot of times, you will come up with some hard shit right now.
It's paralysis by analysis.
Every time we be talking, and it's like a hard saying in the podcast or some shit, I be showing you like I write like say there's a cool ass catchphrase like, you know what I'm saying, like don't forget your shine or something, like just something random somebody throws out. I'll be like, that's hard as fuck, and I
still in that.
I pull out my phone and I go into my little Audacity fashion like notebook and I write that shit down, and it's like that's